Soundboard and Emmy for showing up again. I love her when she shows up with us, and all the rest of the fine folks here at the television station. All right, so Mitzi, I think, therefore I am. That's what Descartes said. So let's see what we're going to think into manifestation during this 58 minutes that we're on the air with these fine folks. You know, I never know what it's going to be. I absolutely do not know. But what has happened in the last couple of shows, you know, I used to have this table covered in books that were not mine. I mean, they were mine. I own them. They're in my library. But I'm saying I didn't write all the ones that are on the table. But Sandy has taken it upon herself to flood this table with the majority of the books I've written and that are available on my website and Amazon and at Lamp Magic Publishing too. But she wants me to work out of those books and stop using other people's books so much. Of course, I love to read. And if you were at my house, you would see that I have over 5,000 books and I give them away constantly. But during these next shows, Sandy says that I'm going to be using my material. So we're going to be reading out of the books that I've written and using the material that I have put in between pages. Now I do have the Bible and I have Emerson up here, and I see I have Buber, and there's a couple of things up here that are not mine. And I have the I Ching, of course, the Yi Ching. I wouldn't go anywhere without it. But we'll see. Now, let me start one more time. For those of you who have never tuned in, what I do is I take everything that I possibly can use, being that I love the esoteric arts and sciences, which are numerology, astrology, Kabbalah, the tarot, and other methods, esoteric methods, to help me define what it is I want to say, in addition to science, physics, mathematics, psychoanalysis, psychology, sociology. I mean, I pretty much go all the way across the gamut. I especially use the Bible as the mainstay of what I do. And I know that seems contrary to anybody would most of the time think that you could combine all of the esoteric arts with the Bible, but the Bible is the most esoteric book that has ever been written. So there's hidden meanings in everything. Just like in these tarot cards, there's hidden meanings beyond the pictures that are placed on the cards. So what do I want to do? What do I want to do? You know, I've taken it upon myself too for the last couple of shows to add hats to the set. And the reason for that, I like hats, first of all. But second of all, hats are on my head and the various different colors and sizes and shapes to represent something. You know, you could just call me a tarot card if you wanted to, and call me the Magician or the Empress or the Emperor or the Hierophant, Chariot, whatever you want to, based on the hat that I happen to be wearing that day. These hats are specifically and especially designed for me by Sandy. So if you like them, you could tell her so. Let me see. What do I want to do? Usually what I do is I used to pull out these papers. Where are they at? And to start the show off. And what I'll do is, for those of you who have never tuned in, you see these papers. Well, whatever it is that I pull out, the theme of the show will be based on that. So I'd like to get one paper that I have never pulled before. Do you think that's possible, Mitzi? Because I always seem to pull the same paper somehow. I guess the theme needs to be restated. But let's see what we're going. Okay, here it is. Here's what we're going to be dealing with today. But we keep dealing with this same kind of theme, but it needs to be said, because we're going to pull some more papers and have it weave together. You know, these are different shows, different times, different weather, different circumstances, and yet the theme of our life remains constant. We're learning how to eliminate those things in our lives that cause us problems and difficulties. If you keep looking back into the past or in the so-called future, how can you possibly experience the unwavering truth that you are, in fact, going nowhere? Well, Mitzi, I don't think I've read this one. There's nowhere else to go but where you are right now. If you keep looking back into the past, not only you know whether you're doing that or not, how many times during the day do you catch yourself thinking about something that happened yesterday, last week, last year, 10 years ago, 40 years ago? How many times do you do that? How much of your mind is occupied by something that you think that you should have said, would have said, could have said, and going over the conversations, each word, over and over in your mind? So it says if you keep looking back into the past or into the so-called future. Now, how much of your time is spent? You know, I have no way of hearing what you're saying. I have no way of doing that, being that the television set is between me and you. So you only know how much time you spend in looking to what's going to happen, what I'm going to get, who I'm going to see, who is going to call me or text me. How much of your time is spent waiting for that, anticipating that, looking on your phone to see if that has in fact happened? If you keep looking back into the past or into the so-called future, how can you possibly experience the unwavering truth that you are in fact going nowhere? There's nowhere else to go but where you are right now. Now, I think I have an art piece. It's a rather large piece too that I did. It was in oil and I did it several years ago. And the name of it is Be Where Your Feet Are. I'm sure too that I have written an article that has been placed on countless hundreds of different directories out on the web. Look for it. Paula Andrea Pyle, Mode of Cosmic Therapy, Be Where Your Feet Are. Paula, you can't be anywhere else than where your feet are. Oh, yes, you can, my love. You can, you are, you do, you will, you shall, you could, you would. Being where your feet are is being right here in this chair with me sitting here with black pants on, a cranberry shirt, a hat that has some kind of cranberry color on it, holding a piece of paper and talking to you. That is all I'm doing. That is it. I am nowhere else. I am not thinking about what took place 10 minutes ago, what I said 2 minutes ago, what I'm going to say 2 minutes from now. I am here. I am present. I am where my feet are. They are crossed underneath this table beside this bottle of water that I could take if I need it, and sometimes I do and I don't remember to get it. I think I'll get it right now. So we're talking about being where your feet are. There's nowhere else to go but where you are right now. And today I've added some other things to it because I'm going to pull out. Okay, that's the theme. That's the theme today. We know that. So we're going to go in here and I'm going to pull out one. I have way more artistic creations than this, but this happens to be one of my art pieces, and this will go along with that. And as you saw, how many papers? I'm trying to make a point. Everything in your life is connected. Every single solitary thing. Everything. Not one solitary thing. Solitary. You know I'm going to get that word on the board. Solitary, Mitzi. Don't let me forget it. Not one solitary thing is left out. If you do it, see it, speak it, smell it, taste it, feel it, it is part of what is happening. It cannot be dismissed. So with these papers, I pulled one with another little little container. I pulled this other one that this has artistic things in it, but let's see how it'll go right along with that. I don't even have to read it. I know it is. And it's a beautiful picture, beautiful picture. It's too little for you to see. I know Mitzi can't draw that in. But anyway, if you go up on my art site, you can do this too. You can pull and pick one of these pictures, and then the reading will be right there for you. And you'll see how relevant it is for your life. It's like magic. Why is it like magic? Because I don't have anything attached to it. I don't have anything identified with it. And I don't care whether you do it or you don't do it. So it matters not. That's the way you live life, being right here, doing what is here. Okay, if at any time you think you know what you are doing, cease immediately. Be where your feet are. If you keep looking back into the past or into the so-called future, how can you possibly experience the unwavering truth that you are in fact going nowhere? If at any time you think you know what you're doing, cease immediately. You are involved in your present life, neck deep. Neck deep. And if you have pain in your neck, that's another reason altogether for you to pay attention to being where your feet are. You're involved in your present life, neck deep, for reasons you can't possibly see or interpret. Possibly see or interpret. Get out of your mind self-intoxicated drama. What is self-intoxicated drama? Looking back into the past. Who you talked to yesterday, who you saw yesterday, who you're supposed to see tonight, who you didn't see today, who it was that you saw 2 weeks ago and you wish that person would call you again or talk to you again, or who you're making plans to see 10 days from now. Okay, that's called self-intoxicated drama. You are not that important to the scenario. Ooh. You wanted to be, didn't you? You wanted your hair color to be perfect because it matters to somebody that they see it and tell you it's pretty. You think it matters, don't you? Oh, you thought that you wore the outfit so somebody would comment on how good you looked in it. Or your shoes, or your pocketbook. Well, you are just not that important to the scenario. Life's going to go on without you. It's a fact. The importance lies in your being able to stay focused and aware of your authentic indifference. All right, what was the other word, Mitzi? I've done forgot it that I was going to put up here. I forgot it. Solitary. Thank you, sweetie. Solitary. It seems like I'm making those T's like an A. You know? That's that one vibration going on here. But the other thing was you're authentic. Now, hey, chillins, all of y'all chillins, everything that's going on in this world, I need about 5 hours to go into this particular thing. Your authentic indifference. Oh, child of mine, wasn't that Guns N' Roses? So all of you children, this is what you must become aware of. The importance lies in your being able to stay focused and aware of your authentic indifference. Authentic indifference. What does that mean, Paula? I'm going to come back to this page and do that. What does that mean? You simply don't care. Now, you go to great lengths trying to prove to yourself and to others that you do. You really do. You knock yourself out. And it's a real, what was the thing? Self-intoxicated drama. Let's see about solitary before I get moved on too far. Solitary. I had said the word so many times. That's a 2, and that's a 9. That's 25. I always say that 25, especially if you're born on the 25th or anytime you're dealing with that 25, it's a release, okay? I mean, that's that vibrational 25. It's one of the things. There's a lot more to it, but remember, anytime you see the word 25, address, paycheck, when you hold a quarter in your hand, it's a release of some kind. So anyway, I don't like to ever, ever, ever take that why down, because the why, you know, why? That's what we spend our life asking. But anyway, so what have we got? We've got a 6 and a 9 is 15, and we got a 16. So we got a 41 heart. Let's make sure. 16, 25, 4, and 2 is 6, 15. Is that what we've got? Let's make sure. 15, 16, 41, 4, 6, 15. And so that's going to make a 56. Wow. Okay. No wonder. I mean, how can I cover all this stuff, Mitzi? You know, here it is. Let me not forget that number. 56. Okay, it's solitary. And I'm going to pull the Yi Jing and go to 56 and show you how much you don't care. You simply don't care. But let's go back. All right. So what we're doing with all your little chillins and children and kids and crumb snatchers and everybody, whether you're 102 or you're 2, all of the children of the world, have authentic indifference. A child does not prefer something of one kind or another, has no kind of ideas that are negative and wanting more than what he or she has until the parent teaches him or her that. Okay. The importance lies in your being able to stay focused and aware of your authentic indifference. You allow yourself to become enmeshed in matters of emotional climates. Emotional